What's up, nail friends? In today's video, I'm going to be doing this really pretty pink and blue design on my own nails. So if you guys are interested in that, just keep watching. So this design I'm doing on my own nails. I'm going to be using the Glitterbels clear stiletto tips. I really like these tips. I like the shape and the C curve. So here I'm just applying them on my already prepped nails. After I've applied the nails, this is what they look like. So I'm going to be first going in with the Glitterbels glass slippers and applying a clear base on these before I shape them, because I just don't like to shape my nails with tips on. I just feel like it feels weird. So I'm applying this on the line of where the tip meets my natural nail, and then I'm going to blend this down the tip. And then when it's dry, I can file and shape these. The brush I'm using is the Glitterbels number 12 brush. So I'm just picking up a small bead of that Glitterbels glass slippers, placing it down, wiping off my brush and taking all the monomer out. Then I'm flattening that bead with my brush and then pulling the product down the tip. So I'm not doing this all the way to the cuticle area because I'm not going to keep these nails on, so I won't be filling these nails. So if you were doing this on a client or customer, you'd probably want to apply the clear base from the cuticle down, just so when your client comes back for a fill, you can file down to the clear base. The colors I decided to use in this set are Jess, Primrose, Ice Queen, and Moon Jelly. All from Glitterbels, which we have on our site, Nail Throne. And I picked these colors out because I, for some reason, was just really feeling a pink and blue or mint set. So that's what I was going to go with. And then the glitter here is the Fairy Dust Multi-Mix. And I was going to use the North Star, but I didn't end up using this, actually. So ignore that. This is what my palette looks like. And I've also decided I was going to use some dried flowers, which I'll show you guys that in a minute. So after these nails have dried, I'm going in with my Glitterbels metal file refill boards, and I am just tapering in the sides to make sure that the point is super sharp. I'm going over that clear base that I applied and just thinning it out a little bit. And yeah, that's what I'm doing for shaping all of these. So you can see that the tip is really pointy, but it's not as sharp like a stiletto point that I wanted. So I'm just gonna refine that before we even apply. I like my base to be pretty close to the end result before I even start. I just find it makes it easier for finish filing at the end. After you file the nails and you have the shape that you want, make sure you remove and cleanse off all the dust before applying. So that's what I'm just doing here, making sure to get all that dust gone. And then this is what they look like so far. So here's the little flowers I'm using: a light pink, a dark pink, and a mint flower. So I didn't have a design idea for this set, I just knew the colors I wanted to use and the flowers I wanted to use. So I'm going in here with Moon Jelly. I was thinking on this nail that I wanted to do an ombre fade with the flowers on it. So I'm starting at the Moon Jelly on the tip. I applied it where the natural nail meets the tip. And then I'm just fading that down the nail. I'm not going to make this blend perfect because I am going to be applying flowers, so you won't even see it. But if you were going to be doing a perfect blend, you'd really want to work on making sure that your blend is perfect. So you want to pull that Moon Jelly color up and fade that a little bit better towards the cuticle area. And I do have a bit of a ring of fire on this nail just because I overfiled my nail a long time ago and it's just growing out. But it's grown out by now, but that's why you see that line there. So that's when you overfile by accident, you get that red line. And it looks extra noticeable because I have a peel off base coat that makes my nails shiny. So I'm going to be going in with the Primrose. I'm just applying that across the line of the Moon Jelly and gently feathering that down into Moon Jelly. Not worrying about my cuticle area yet because I'm just trying to get a little bit of a blend. Accidentally got a little glitter in there, which I just pulled out right now. So I'm just going to go in and pick up another big bead of primrose. I'm placing it down near the cuticle area, but not quite to the cuticles area. I'm cleaning off my brush, and then I'm flattening the product and pushing with the very tip of my brush close to the skin without overlapping it. And then I'm just fading that product down the nail. And I'm bending my finger downward so that gravity can help, because if you lay your finger flat while you're working on this, you could accidentally have it seep into the sidewalls or seep into the cuticle area. And I'm just brushing the rest of that down. And that's what that looks like so far. Okay, so I'm going in with the Glitterbels glass slippers, and I'm picking up those dried flowers, and I'm just placing them where I want them on the nail. So I really like little dried flowers, adding them to sets. They just look so pretty and dainty, and it is spring coming up, so I thought a flowered set would be perfect for spring. So I'm kind of just placing these wherever, but kind of from the right side down the left, and going over where the blend would be. As I said, the blend didn't matter that much because I was covering it with flowers. Make sure that your flowers have enough clear to hold them down so that when you encapsulate, they don't just get wiped off. Gonna add some of the loose glitter, so I just picked up with my brush and some monomer. I picked up the glass slippers, and then I went right into the pot of the fairy dust and just picked up a little bit of those little mixed glitters and putting them in between the flowers. So I'm not overlapping the flowers with the glitter. I'm just putting it in between the spaces of where the flowers are not. And that's how that looks so far. So we will encapsulate this, but we're going to move on to the next nails. I still had no idea what I was going to do, but I wanted to incorporate the glitters, so I decided to go in at the cuticle area with primrose on the pinky, and I'm just going to fade that down. And this is because I'm going to be adding glitter over top, and I just like to add down like a smooth color and get my cuticle area nice and smooth before going in with glitter. I just find that it makes the cuticle area nice and clean. So I did that on the pinky, I'm just leaving it. And then I'm going to go in with the opposite on the pointer finger, which is moon jelly at the cuticle area. And again, I'm doing that because I'm going to go in with glitter and I want it to be nice and smooth and even. So I'm just pushing this close to the cuticle area and then blending this down. This can be nice and thin because we don't really need full coverage, but I'm just using this as an undercolor underneath the premixed glitters. And here is how the set is coming along. So on the pinky, I'm going to go in at the cuticle area with that Jess glitter. So I'm picking up a bead, bleeding the bead out, and then placing it down, cleaning off my brush, and then pushing that up towards the cuticle area. This glitter is so pretty. It's kind of like a baby pink with holographic glitter in it. It's kind of rose goldy, shimmery. I don't know. It's just really beautiful and kind of underrated. I really like this one. It's very, very sparkly. So I'm just moving that product to cover up that primrose, and then I'm gently fading that down. And then we're going to go in with Ice Queen on the tip, just placing that down and then using the very tip of my brush to pull that up. I like to do kind of like a side fade, so you can see it's not a perfect straight line there. Just placing that down, grabbing some more, filling in the tip, and then you can kind of move the product where you want it before it dries. So I'm just gonna dab that and push that up so that it kind of overlaps a little bit, so it doesn't look like a perfect line. We want it kind of sparse where the fade is. I'm just adding some more glitter and then dabbing it where I want it, wiping the sides, and that's how that looks. So I'm going to kind of do the opposite on the pointer finger. So the ice queen will be at the cuticle area, and at the tip we're going to go in with Jess. So I'm placing Jess down, fading that up again on an angle, dabbing it where I want it to go. I'm going to pull this down. When you pull it down, you want a very, very light, gentle touch, just so you move the product and not remove the product. And then gonna wipe the sides. Add a bit more here, just to give it full coverage. And then dabbing along the line for a fade effect. And then wiping the sides. I'm cleaning off my brush, and we're going to go in with our ice queen. So I'm placing that down near the cuticle area, and then I'm just going to push the product up close. You can see these colors match really nicely. So again, you can see how adding that color, the moon jelly, down first really helps get that clean, smooth cuticle line. Whereas if I were to just go in with this, it'd be a little bit more difficult, maybe not as perfect. So that's why I like to do that. I like this glitter because it's kind of like unique. It's got some matte glitters in it that are iridescent. It's very pretty. And I'm just dabbing the product to move it where I want it and get that fade. Okay, and then this is how the set looks so far. So gonna work on the middle finger now. So the middle finger, I was gonna do all that beautiful primrose color because I didn't add enough pink and I wanted a lot more pink in this set. So I'm applying a big bead down and then pushing the sides up to cover the sides, and then again just dragging this gently down the nail to spread the product. I love primrose. It's kind of like a shimmery pink. It's a very nice color for the spring. So once I get that down, I can grab a bead for my cuticle area. So I'm going to place that down. Again, not right at the cuticle area, but a little bit further back, you can see. I'm going to clean off and wipe off my brush, removing some of that monomer so that it's not too liquidy. And then I'm pushing that close to the cuticle area with my finger bent down, trying to get close into the cuticle area without overlapping the skin. I'd rather work carefully in my cuticle area than anything else because you want that to be really clean and smooth. And then I'm wiping the product down to blend it into the bottom half. And then anything you need to adjust you can do after, but just try to get your cuticle area nice before doing anything else or worrying about anything else. And then you can see I missed a little bit right there, so I'm just picking up a little bit more and placing that down and kind of dabbing with my brush to move it where I want it. How pretty is that color? Okay, so I'm going to go in with some glitter on this nail because I want to incorporate the fairy dust mixed glitter into more of this design. So I'm just picking up a bead of that with the clear acrylic, and I'm placing it right in the center and then using my brush to dab the product to move it where I want it to go, from right down the center down the left. So again, kind of like a swooping motion. I'm going to add some crystals on this in the end as well. And then I just use my brush to dab the product to move those little glitter flakes so that it's nice and faded and not too concentrated in one spot. And that's how it looks. So on the thumb, I decided I really wanted more of the moon jelly. So I'm going to go in with all moon jelly on this now, and then we're going to add some flowers. I thought that would be pretty to incorporate more flowers into this design. So I'm going to apply the moon jelly on the tip. I like to apply on the tip instead of the cuticle area first. It's just personal preference. You can apply at the cuticle area first. This is just what I like to do. I'm fading this down the nail. Picking up a bigger bead, placing it again near the cuticle area but not touching the cuticle area, and then I'm just going to use my brush to maneuver that product where I want it instead of trying to place it perfectly. use your brush to your advantage. So I clean off my brush and then I flatten my brush and then I go in around the cuticle area. And then I'm going to fade that product down. And if you don't get full coverage, that's totally fine. You can add more product, but just try to get your cuticle bead nice and even and smooth. So you can see I didn't add enough product, so I'm just going in with some more product and then using the tip of my brush to push it where I want it. And then I'm going to fade that down and clean off my brush and wipe that corner there. And again, do that on the exact same, but on the other side, where I'm placing a little bit more product, fading that down with my brush. This doesn't need to be perfectly even because I am going over it with flowers. So I've picked up some of those flowers. I just love dried flowers, they're so pretty. And I'm placing this along. I feel like this nail is so pretty and would be really nice in a full set, or if you did this blue moon jelly and some cover pink and some flowers. I don't know, I just feel like it'd be really, really pretty for spring. I'm doing the same thing I did on the ring finger, where I'm just applying it on one side, going down the other, and then I'm going to add some of the glitter as well. Okay, and here is how I designed this set. Again, no idea in mind, but this is how they turned out. I really like it so far. They're super glittery. And now we're going to encapsulate this design. So what I used, of course, was my Glitterbels glass slippers. So I'm picking up a bead. I like to do my tip first. I always do that in all my videos. I just find it so much easier for me. You can encapsulate however you want though. I'm applying this along the line and then fading it down the tip, trying to get it nice and even over the bottom half of the nail first. Then we'll go in with the cuticle bead. After that's all encapsulated, I do take a look at it from the side to see if I need to add more, and I did, so I'm going to be adding some more product where the apex should be, placing it down and then gently pulling that product over the nail. And I'm going to do that on all these nails to make sure that they are encapsulated with an apex. And if you miss any product at the very tip, add a little bit more, just because I find with stilettos sometimes the tip gets missed a little bit. Skipping ahead here, I'm going to encapsulate the rest of the nails here, and I will put this on a 300 speed for you guys just so you can watch, but I'm not really going to explain it because it's exactly the same as the thumb. Basically applying it close to the cuticle area, just encapsulating the nail, and then making sure that you build up a big enough apex whilst making sure that the tip has enough product on it as well. And then we'll come back and finish file. After letting the nails dry, I'm going to be using this bit. It's just a super small carbide bit just to go around the cuticle area and smooth that out. Just make sure there's no like deep lumps and bumps. I like to do most of my finish filing by hand with a hand file, so I just do a little bit of debulking. And I'm going to do that on all the nails here. E-file bits here like this with that rounded top are super safe and gentle. It's basically impossible to cut your client with these, so that's why I like to use those. So now I'm going to go in and file the shape. So first I like to go in at the sidewalls and make sure to even that out and make sure it's nice and pointy. So I go under the nail to make sure that it's not drooping down, and I file the sides. And then when I'm happy with that, I go over the nail and I am thinning out on the sides around the cuticle area and the tip while keeping majority of the bulk of the nail for my apex. I like to go up and down like this at the tip just to get an even file. After finish filing with my hand file, I take a Glitterbels buffing block and I just gently buff over the nail. That makes it just easier when it comes to applying top coat, because then it gets rid of any of those really deep scratches you might see. So this is just to kind of buff out those scratches. You don't want to over buff the nail because sometimes top coat won't stick very well if you do that. So just a little gentle buff, get rid of all the scratches, and go around the cuticle area with this as well. After filing and buffing the nails, I always cleanse the nails. First, I wipe them dry with a like a dust brush, and then I'm going in with a lint-free wipe and some 99% alcohol and just removing any extra dust I can find. Going really around the cuticle area under the nail, just removing all the dust, because it's hard to apply top coat if you have any dust, or it'll show up. So we want to get rid of all that. And then I'm going to be adding some crystals to this set. So I'm going to be using my Glitterbels base glue here, and I'm applying this. I was trying to decide what I wanted to do, but then I decided I wanted to do kind of like crystals over top of that glitter. So I'm applying a bigger crystal clear in the center, and then I'm going to go around and kind of do just a swirl design with this. Simple, easy, but just add some crystals, because you know, crystals sometimes really make a set look pretty, and I thought the little middle finger here looked really plain, so that's what I did. So going in with some of the light rose crystals, and then I'm also going to go in with some like turquoise blue ones to kind of match, so this whole set comes together and is cohesive. After that, this is how they look. I decided to not add more crystals. So we're going to go in with our Glitterbels No Wipe top coat to finish this design off. So I'm applying this all over the nails, and then I will give this a full cure. Whenever I'm doing my nails, or anyone's nails, when I'm done, I actually do a double cure just to make sure, and then I let the nails sit for about 1 minute before applying cuticle oil. I apply cuticle oil all around the cuticle area and skin, and then I have myself or my clients wash their hands to get rid of any of that shine, but it also replenishes all the oils from all the alcohol, so the nails look nice and clean and supple and ready for photos. And after all of that, here is the finished set. What do you guys think of this design? I really like them, and they're super pretty and shiny. I love the flowers. They're great for spring. What do you guys think? Please let me know in the comments section. If there's anything specific you guys would like me to do, color combinations, themes, design ideas, anything really, please let me know in my comment section and I will do that for you. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys so much, and make sure that if you are interested and you like my channel, please subscribe. If you want to see notifications in your subscription feed, click the bell next to it and like this video for interaction. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!